I've never met someone who's owned a gas station, what it's like to own a gas station, what is like some good things about owning it, what's some bad things about owning it. So
I had it for about 3 years now.
Okay.
So before just to go way back, so I have a degree in biochemistry. I was supposed to go to med school.
Oh, cool.
I took a gap year and I played poker full time. I decided to invest and start the gas station. So my dad owns his own gas station. So I wanted to start one of my own. So he helped me when I first got started. But there's a lot of cons with the gas station. It's a lot like it's a cash-based business. So like at the beginning, all the employees say I heard I didn't have, like when I hired them, I didn't have a good judgment. So they were skimming off the top. I had to look at the cameras.
Yeah.
I had to see that there's.
E-commerce is the greatest business opportunity of our generation. Yo, what is up, people? Thank you for rocking with us, for listening to another episode of the Ecom Unlimited podcast. It is your host, Kaj, here with my co-host, Josh.
What's going on, everybody?
And today we are welcoming on one of our friends and members of the Wholesale Network, Shan, also known very cleverly as the Buy Box Bandit on Twitter. How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? Good to be on here.
Yeah, thanks for making time. So we were talking off camera, but tell us about your @ when did you decide to go with that?
I created my Twitter and I just wanted to get followers. I just copied Miles's podcast name. Instead of bandits, I put bandit, and I got free followers off that.
That's so funny. We're good friends with Miles and Garrett and Danny over there, so I'm sure they find it funny too. Actually, I know one guy who his Discord @ is Alex Hermosi, and he did that because he's hoping that Hermosi's going to want to buy it from him one day.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, man, again, thanks for making time.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's jump into your story. So I know that you do some other business stuff as well. And this is like selling on Amazon. The e-commerce side of things is more of your current side hustle. But just talk to me about your business background and how you got into what you're doing now.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I own a gas station. That's my main gig right now. How I got into Amazon is, first I did eBay. I just went to garage sales trying to flip stuff just off videos I saw on YouTube. So from that, I saw people doing RA, just going to Walmart, Target, and flipping stuff on Amazon. So I just binged through a bunch of videos, mostly Flips for Miles videos. And then I did RA to start with. And then I switched to OA and now trying to do wholesale.
Got it. Okay. And what year was this when you started?
This was this year in January. It's
wow.
my first product in January.
I didn't realize it was that recent. I thought you'd been doing it for at least a couple of years.
No, it was this January.
Okay. So you said you started with RA first?
Yes. So my first product was a Lego, which I bought from Walmart. So I did a lot of Lego when I first started. RA from just going from Walmart to Walmart, just loading up my trunk with Legos. So yeah.
Got it. Did you get hit with the Lego regate, or are you still good?
No, I did not actually. I can still sell them.
Oh yeah, so you're gonna be pumping Lego Q4.
Yeah.
That's okay, really sick. Cool. And so you did a little bit of retail arbitrage. What was your biggest revenue month with RA?
Oh, it was $95K. It was last month. That's
crazy. So were you still doing RA at that point, or was that mainly?
Oh, with just RA?
Yeah, just with RA, yeah.
Revenue month. Oh, okay. So I stopped doing RA like my second month. My second month was like $40K, and it was just all Legos.
Wow, that's still impressive.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
That's
So about 2 months of RA starting beginning of this year, 2024, and then you, like you said, you were watching a lot of Miles's stuff. Great free content, especially in regards to OA, and then you just decided to go all in on OA at that point.
Yeah, I actually joined the roadmap.
Okay.
And yeah, I just went through the whole course and just jumped into OA, just all the way.
So what made you want to transition from that RA to OA?
It's just I didn't have enough time to buy products to scale much bigger than like 50K revenue a month. So I wanted to buy a lot more products and spend more money. So OA was like the perfect transition.
Yeah. And how did you do OA? Because it's like you spend all this money OA, and people are like, oh, you spend the money, and then sometimes you can lose like the in between factor. Like, was it all coming to your home, and you were boxing it up there? Like, explain to us how you kind of
So
went through that process.
yeah, so the first month of away, it was coming to my house, which in Georgia there's like 8% sales tax.
Okay.
So first it was coming to my house and I was packing it, sending FBA shipments. But after the first month, I got a prep center. So I only did FBA shipments myself the first 3 months, and after that, just all full time a prep center.
Gotcha. Okay. And is the prep center, you don't have to say what prep center you're at. Is it in the same, obviously, it's probably not the same state as you. Is it a certain state?
It was Delaware and Philly. It was
Okay.
Max, a big cat.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Nice. Nice. Cool.
Yep.
Now, currently, talk us through like how it kind of worked. You transitioned from RA, you're able to get into OA, spending a whole lot of money. How did you see your revenue like change over time there? Was it like instantaneous, or did it take a little while?
It took about a few weeks because of the lag. It's hard to, it's just a different business model. You got to get good at finding products. So just storefront stocking, I couldn't find enough stuff, and I was getting it from the wrong websites. I wasn't looking at the right websites. So it took a couple weeks for me to get used to it.
Sure.
And then my revenue jumped my 5th month.
Okay.
So yeah, so it took a couple of weeks it was a small learning curve. So it took a couple of weeks to get used to OA.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, were you still buying Legos on top of OA, or did you kind of like turn away from the Lego for a little bit to focus on more on OA?
So it was mainly during the Walmart clearance. They only do it like about a month. So after everything runs out, they restock with the new sets. So there weren't any Legos to buy.
Gotcha.
So,
I see what you're saying. Okay. Very nice.
Yep.
Now, what kind of strategies did you use to, improve profits over time with OA? Like, what kind of, were you using like gift cards or?
So yeah, I mean that's basically the main thing. A lot of people don't do the discounted gift cards. So the website I use is Card Cash Elite, which gives you extra like 1 or 2%. You got to spend like 10K a month or something.
Yeah.
So I mainly use that website for all my gift cards, and I mean basically that, and then the cash back, just all the same stuff, and nothing special.
Gotcha. Yeah. Are you big on like saving? I know some people are like really big on like saving coupon codes, using them potentially later to see if they still work. Do you do any of that, or do you just kind of just?
I have a lot of those extensions, the coupon burst, and all those.
Okay.
So it just pops up because some coupon codes I don't think last forever. There's only a few like evergreen ones, so like the cycle changes all the time. So I have a bunch of those extensions. I just check all of them.
Gotcha. So basically, every time you go to your cart, you're just basically checking to make sure you didn't miss anything in terms of potentially getting a new coupon. Okay. And then are you an individual of like when you run out of stock, do you have like a lot of like the stock stuff that may have sold out, may not be good or potentially profitable anymore? Is that stored away somewhere that you can like come back to, or are you just kind of always finding new things?
So yeah, I make spreadsheets on SellerAmp. So all the stuff I bought before is in that spreadsheet. The stuff I can replan, I transfer to another spreadsheet. And the stuff that tanks, I just take it off. I mean, I usually put it in another spreadsheet it says tanked, so I can come back to it if it like rebounded or something,
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we see that a lot with products too. They do have, a life cycle as sales come and go.
Especially from a Nike.com. Yeah, I mean, everything tanks from that website.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people selling Nike out there. At least the ones that aren't gated. We're currently gated.
The ones that are still in not in Nike jail.
Yeah, Nike jail.
Yeah,
that's true.
A lot of sock sellers got their whole business just gone.
And look, I can't say much because if it happened to us in 2022, we would have been
cooked.
We absolutely cooked. Absolutely cooked. On the note of the spreadsheet, this is one thing I'm trying to get better at during the pod. in the description below, we do have linked our free spreadsheet template for anyone who's listening and is like trying to, get more organized with using your stuff. So there, I think it says free purchase tracker in the description, and there's also a YouTube video on how to link that to SellerAmp if you're not using that. So that's a super powerful tool for OA, just to stay organized, go back to those old leads, because like they just said, everything is kind of cyclical.
Absolutely. Do we have the gift card tracker down there too?
That's a great question. If it's not, we'll make sure we get it in for this episode.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because like, honestly, like organization is just so key with, especially online arbitrage. You got to make sure you know where products, where they're coming from in terms of website, what coupon and what discount you got, what other things that you use to improve the profitability of the product. All that has to be going in some sort of a spreadsheet where you can make sense of it all, so you can quickly go back, make sure you know exactly what products you're looking for, with what discount you're looking for, so you can sell at a certain price. It just speeds up the process, and it's super important if you want to scale, like the Buy Box Bandit has on Amazon.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I gotta admit, I'm not that good at organization. Like my VA, she helped me a lot with that. Like she's much smarter than me. Like I have a really good VA. So she helps me a lot with the organization part.
I was just about to ask you that. So it's just you and one VA?
Yeah, I'm about to hire another VA right now. But yeah, I hired her my second month, so it was really early. Like I was still doing RA. I just hired her to like organize all my retail receipts and my emails.
Nice.
So she's been with me for almost like 7-8 months now.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good. Now, like, kind of walk us through that. You're like, you're going to hire someone to really just look at receipts, filter emails, and look at a spreadsheet. Now, like, no one in their right mind usually is like, no way I'm going to pay someone to look at receipts, filter through an email and all this kind of stuff. How did that really take the load off you as you went to all these different stores to try to buy things? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it translates to my gas station. Like I manage employees all the time, so I don't mind paying people for their time. Like I'm not gonna be in the gas station like 12 hours a day working the shifts when I can hire employees. So it's the same concept. I hated organizing those receipts. I hated looking through all my emails. So anything I hate, I made a Loom video. I just send it to her and be like, you can do this. So it's basically like me like hating to do the job, and then it just comes from hatred, basically.
That's awesome. I think that's really what VA should take care of. Something that you hate, like, because it's like that just unloads your mind mentally, and it allows you to push further than you ever think you could before. Whether it's going to like 5 extra stores because you don't have to worry about getting home and organizing all these receipts, and you can just work on uploading.
Exactly. Them. It could be like It could be like anything simple too, like requesting the daily payout. Like I forget to do that. I just told her to do that, and she does that for me every day now. She requests the payout.
It's really cool. That's really awesome.
Yeah, and that's I love how you said it came out of hatred, but that's a great lesson for young business owners, because especially as a new entrepreneur, it's easy to think you need to do it all yourself, when in reality, if you're able to get the right people on your team, you're going to scale faster. And one thing to think about, and I got this from the book, Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, which I reference a lot. But it's like you want to outsource tasks that are not only, like you said, like administrative tasks, like going through receipts, because obviously that's not growing the business. What's going to grow the business is sourcing product and buying product. So you want to put your time on what's going to actually grow the business. And number two, you also want to know yourself and understand like what drains your energy, because for some people, they like really love the organization side of things. So it's like, you might hate organizing receipts, but if you hire someone who just loves organizing stuff, like they're going to enjoy that, Right. And so it's not even like, oh, I'm just giving someone a terrible task. It's just a task that's terrible for you. And so if you can, think through hiring that way. And I'm harping on this point because I've talked with so many folks who they're kind of at that point, where they just kind of hit their ceiling with what they're capable of doing by themselves, and they don't want to hire a VA. And I'm like, just hire, like get a prep center, get a VA. If you're doing it all yourself and you can't grow, like you have to change and take a little bit of a risk if you're going to try and hit that next level. So yeah, right. great points there.
Caj, you want to transition to wholesale maybe a little bit?
Yeah, let's do that. So RA for 2 months, and then transitioned into OA, pretty much stopped RA completely, and then you've been almost entirely OA. So what, since like March till September?
March till about, August, September.
Okay. And then, what piqued your interest to get into wholesale?
So it's Ashad. So he basically pushed me like, you can't be doing OA forever. It's not. Also, I didn't think it was like a good business model. You're constantly chasing to buy product. Like you don't have a set replan. Like not all websites you can buy unlimited amount from, and the prices change all the time. So yeah, Ashad basically pushed me to do that group buy. And once I did that, I just loved it. Like, it was so simple. You buy a bunch of units. Like, it was 1,500 units, but it wasn't even that long. I probably sell out after Q4. So it was only like 3-4 months supply. And yeah, it was just the ease of it and not the constant chase. You can also have a set business model. You can have your 4 or 5 SKUs you can always buy from. And so it feels like an actual business, unlike like a side hustle,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And how does that kind of line up with the gas station that you're running? Because obviously you got to stock the shelves there. I'm curious. I feel like there has to be some sort of similarity.
So curious.
So the gas station business model, so it's basically you buy from vendors. So they basically come and stock your shelf like Coke, Lay's, like all the big brands. So you buy from the company, they come and stock your shelves, and you basically sell that way. So you're not buying as many, like for Amazon, you got to buy like thousands of units. You're only buying like a week or two worth, and they come and stock it. So it's a slightly different business model, but it's the same concept. You're basically buying, and they're replaying the product for you. So there's some similarities, but it's just like the shelf life is different for gas stations. All the stuff expire, and it's just slightly different.
Oh, is it more short dated stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
so
I didn't even think about that.
You can't buy too many. So just for Amazon, you can buy a ton.
Right. Yeah. So you couldn't even like really resell that stuff on Amazon from your store if you wanted to, because it would expire too soon.
Exactly. And I can't send it in FBA. Yeah.
Did not.
But there are some things you can buy, like oil, like car oil, or like some small stuff. But mostly it's like grocery and like chips. Or you can't sell tobacco on Amazon.
Right.
Or alcohol. So.
Right. Very interesting. So do you see do you see your Amazon business at some point like equaling or becoming the main hustle compared to the gas station, or like what's your long-term plan?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. So long-term plan is just to grow the revenue. Like the bigger the revenue, the margin is going to grow. I don't even have to change my margin. Even if my margin stays between like 12 to 15%, I mean, just grow your revenue to make more money, basically.
Okay. Sick.
My long-term plan is to get my revenue to 500K months.
Okay.
That is my long-term plan.
I love that. Yes. Finally, someone who says a number and knows exactly what he wants. We have so many people on here. I'm like, what's your goal? And they're like, just make more money. And it's like, come on, I need a number. I need a timeline. I need a day. I love it. That's awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yep.
And so sticking with wholesale, right? So you joined the Wholesale Network about a month ago, right?
It was around a month.
And did you hear about that too from Ashad, or was that from Twitter?
He basically pushed me.
Ashad will push you.
He pushed me a lot, and he was basically saying it's all because of the connections and the network you form. So I'm meeting a lot of people in there.
Cool.
I'm finding out a lot of information from the resources vault. There's so much information in there. I'm still going through that. I'm looking at all the call recordings like you do, Kaj. Like every week, I just go and look through.
Oh yeah, that's why you've been listening to me a lot.
Yeah. So it's hard for me to join at like 8 p.m. So I try to look at the recording the next morning.
Awesome.
So I just been going through everything. So but that's been big help. I'm still like very new to it. I'm still calling up at least 5 distributors every day, trying to get accounts. But yeah, hopefully soon I can make that the main part of my business and skip away.
Awesome. And so once you join that group buy that you were part of, again, that's the relationship with the shop, but that happened like pretty quick, which is one of the beautiful things about what we're doing in the Wholesale Network and trying to make that happen more. because those are just super powerful, right? And that's again the beauty of wholesale. If you have the right connections, it's just gonna your business is gonna explode.
Yep, exactly.
So,
Well,
real quick, I got a question. How, just for a new listener coming in here, how does a group buy work? How do you know about a group buy? How do you participate when you're in the group? How does that really work?
So you're basically buying a lot more units to get the price down. That's like the main concept of it. And if you have a lot more capital, you can buy a lot more units. So in total, I think we bought around 4,500 units between 4 or 5 people. And yeah, I have 1,500 units of that. It was just split up, whatever. I wanted the most units, so I got 1,500.
Gotcha. And it's just like, does that show up on the Discord? Like someone's like, buy alert, like first come, first serve. Like what does it look like in the program?
I think right now the Wholesale Network added like a group buy like page on Discord, but before we just DM'd each other. Like it was just through connections. We were just through talking.
Cool. Very nice.
Yep,
very nice.
Exactly. Yeah, in the regular network community, we're still building out the group buy process for that. But then in the mastermind, it's definitely
the wholesale mastermind. Yeah,
yeah.
But that's also another goal of mine to join the wholesale mastermind.
You'll be there very soon. You'll be there very soon. Yeah, so in the mastermind, that's for just for clarification for listeners. That's for 7-figure plus sellers who are doing predominantly wholesale. And then one of the main things we do there is like facilitated group buys. And then in like the regular tier of the network, which is like the coaching tier / community, there's still group buys happening, but we're just not, you don't have access to the same distributors, mainly just because the distributors that we're working with in the mastermind, like you need so much capital. You just kind of have to be doing 7 figures or multiple 7 figures to be able to afford some of the stuff.
What kind of capital are you talking about, Cajua?
Well, I mean, one of the distributors, I think in the last like 3 months, we've spent $5 million with them collectively. So it's like, and it also depends on like the kind of product, right? Every distributor is different. Like I did one group buy that was maybe like a couple grand. I've also done a group buy that was like 30 grand. And there are also a lot of group buys that I just don't do because it's like minimum 100K, 200K. So it just depends, right? Yeah. But yeah, it's a really, really nice way to be able to accelerate your spend. And again, it also happens organically, right? And that's one thing. I don't think you were at ASD, but one thing that was really cool to see there.
I missed that. Yeah, what really wanted to go, I couldn't make it.
Yeah, people, because we hosted an event, and people who are in the network, obviously you're getting to meet people in person for the first time, getting to shake hands, and I know people who met suppliers and they did group buys together, and that was because they already knew each other from the network, and then it's like, hey, the MOQ here is 40K, but I only got 20K left in spend for the month. You have 20K? Yep. All right, let's join forces and make it happen. And that's I just love that so much more than running up discounted gift cards.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So what does your process for supplier outreach look like right now?
So right now I'm focusing on the categories I sell OA and reaching out to distributors that way. I'm still haven't done any brand direct because I got to get used to Smart Scout and doing all the search things. But mainly I'm just reaching out to distributors right now, just finding products I already sell OA.
Got it. Okay. Yep. And that's one of the best ways to get started, especially for people who are transitioning from OA into wholesale.
Just going up the supply chain. Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay. Great. And then, so from what you've seen within the network so far, and obviously what you're doing in your business, I mean, you're running multiple businesses, so you clearly know what you're doing, but like, how do you see the wholesale side of your business growing within like the next 6 to 12 months?
So right now I'm going to focus on OA for Q4, but come January, I'm going to completely transition to all wholesale. And yeah, basically just trying to purchase from distributors first, and then as I get better at landing distributors, I'm gonna go directly to brands.
Nice. Got it.
So my ultimate goal is to just do brand direct like you're doing, Kaj.
Yep, and it's great. Yeah, and we're still buying from distributors too. There are so many good distributors out there that have great product, but brand direct, I do love it.
Yeah, you also get the best pricing.
You get the pricing, and not only do you get the best product pricing, but the one thing that enough people I haven't seen people talk about enough, and maybe it's because it just depends on the situation. But like once you're the only seller, you can raise the buy box price. It's just it's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a funny story. This happened today. So one of the brands that we work with, they sent me an email of someone that emailed them asking to be like help them on Amazon, and the email title was essentially like, your products are terrible.
Oh wow.
But they like it was the email was so bad. It was like it was terrible. They like just took a screenshot of the page with like the Helium 10 widget and like circled the revenue, but didn't like it was pretty funny. He sent it to me like cracking up. I was like, well, you know, everyone wants a piece of the pie, but this pie is unfortunately for them, it's our pie.
It's taken.
It's taken. It's taken.
That's funny.
Gotcha.
And let's quickly talk about just the finance side of the business. So I know a lot of people, especially like I'm sure for you, obviously you have business experience and you have some bankroll available. But how did you like snowball your capital? Have you paid yourself out of the business yet? Like what credit cards are you using?
So I haven't paid myself yet. It's so I started with my personal when I was doing RA, and then I applied to all the 0% cards, the Plum and everything. So yeah, so mainly I'm just using the cards under my Amazon LLC. The main card I use is the Chase Unlimited. It's I think another 0% until next like June or something. So I have like it's So I max it out, I paid off, max it out, paid off, and I'm not in a hurry to pay it off because there's no interest on it.
Right.
And then I'm mainly using the Plum for FBM, so just quick flips.
Got it. Okay, how much FBM are you doing?
Right now it's going to be a lot more for Q4, but so the stuff that gets sent to my house, I listed FBM, and if it sells quick, I don't even send it FBA. So my FBM strategy is basically that the stuff that comes to my house, I list it FBM, and if it doesn't sell, I send it FBA.
Got it. Okay, sick. Josh,
dude, I know my freaking camera, dude.
It's funny because we don't even need to cut it. I think it's just it's a funny saga now. Josh's camera just always likes to zoom out.
Yeah,
it's like really weird. mid call just like blurs. It's like, all right,
nice. That's great. Okay, Josh, did you have any final questions for Shan?
Have you ever thought, so like, talk to us about like, I'm kind of really interested in this gas kind of, you know, I've never met someone who's owned a gas station, what it's like to own a gas station, what is like some good things about owning it, what's some bad things about owning it. Could you just run us through a list of like how you even got started with it and like what you've seen a gas station do over time? Maybe I don't even know how long you've had it for. So
I had it for about 3 years now.
Okay.
So before the gas, so just to go way back, so I have a degree in biochemistry. I was supposed to go to med school.
Oh, cool.
I took a gap year and I played poker full time. So I was a professional poker player. And then after I did that for about 2 years, after I saved up, I decided to invest and start the gas station. So my dad owns his own gas station, so I didn't. I wanted to start one of my own. So he helped me when I first got started. But there's a lot of cons with the gas station. It's a lot like it's a cash-based business. So like at the beginning, all the employees say I heard I didn't have, like when I hired them, I didn't have a good judgment. So they were skimming off the top. So it's a cash-based business. I had to look at the cameras. I had to see that they're stealing. So so the main bottleneck is basically hiring good employees that don't steal. And other than that, you have a good gas station, you have a good location, and it's just a business from there.
Nice. Okay. Cool. That's really cool. Like,
How do you go about finding the location?
Yeah.
So I got lucky. It was during COVID, so I actually bought it outright. So
cool.
I bought the property, and I'm running the business in the property. So there's a restaurant next door I rent out, and the property I just run it. So I bought it. It wasn't leased or anything. So I got a really good interest rate during COVID. And I just got lucky with the location. It was like the second or third gas station I saw, and it was great.
Wow. Nice. Wait, so you said you own the property and then you rent out part of it to a restaurant?
I rent, yeah. The restaurant is just
Cool.
right next door. It's in a college town, so it gets
Beautiful.
a lot of, I sell a lot of alcohol
Nice.
for college kids, you know?
Oh my
Yeah.
Very cool. Very nice.
That's sick. I have a lot more questions in regards to that, but we can have some of those off camera as well.
Yeah,
Now,
for sure.
are you ever thinking about maybe owning another one, or you're like one and done? Like I've seen the business model. Like I don't know if I totally am in love with it. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, if I do buy another one, I have to get like a manager to manage both of them because it's a lot of work. You got to do
Sure.
it full time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's the accounting, and you got to go talk to the vendors when they come in. So it's not like a passive income like Amazon. You can do it from your computer. You got to be there in person. It's like a job.
Right.
So it takes my time. So if I do buy another one, I'm gonna hire a manager.
Gotcha. All right. So that's the way to do it. All right. Very cool. Very good.
And actually, and on that as well. So compare, and you did this briefly, but compare the difference between like what it's like running an in-person brick and mortar versus running an e-commerce business.
It's a lot of costs like associated with like the rent, the electricity, the water, and a lot of startup costs basically. If you're doing Amazon, there's no startup cost. When you're doing Cajua, you got to buy the property or rent the property. You got to pay the bills. There's employees to pay, so it's a lot more upfront cost for a gas station.
Sure, definitely.
All right. I got a question. Have you ever ran out of gas? Like,
One time, it was because it wasn't my fault. It was because the guy that comes in the truck, he didn't make it in time. So we had to shut down all the pumps. It was only for a few hours.
oh, that's
but
good. That's good. Okay. I was
Yeah,
just curious.
yeah. It was like at the end of the night, probably at like 7, 8 p.m.
Okay.
Now, do you have like store hours? Or are you like 24/7 type of thing?
No, it's not 20. So usually gas stations next to the highway are 24/7.
Oh,
We're
okay.
in like a small college town in North Georgia.
Okay.
So we open at 6 and we close at 10 weekdays and open until 11 weekends.
Holy moly. Yeah. That's challenging, I'm sure, to staff that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very challenging. All right.
Yeah. I wonder if you need to like put up, depending on what kind of stuff you have in your storefront, you need like a QR code to your Amazon store. It's like, oh, you need this stuff. All those college kids coveted. They're just like, all right, here's the plug.
Yeah. That would be funny, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Where can people go find you on the internet to interact with you? If they have any questions, if they want to get to know you more.
Yeah, I'm mainly only on Twitter. I'm at BuyBoxBandit on Twitter.
Okay, gotcha. And you're usually okay with people DMing you and all that kind of stuff?
Of course, yeah. Just hit me up.
Awesome. All right, guys, thank you for listening. If you got value from this episode, give it a like and subscribe to Ecom Unlimited so you stay updated on all of our new content. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.